All right, how's it going, Mr. Upton? Hope you're having a good day so far, or a good night, whenever you're viewing this. So today I'm just gonna be telling you a little bit about my mentorship experience so far this semester. First off, I just want to say it's great. I'm glad that I signed up for Insight and got the opportunity to do this because it really is a big help and really helps me kind of process and get me through the whole stages of setting up for a career. So um, the three experiences that were most valuable. Obviously, we only had 4 mentor meetings, but I kind of just picked the 3 mentor meetings that really stood out to me and helped me. So, first meeting obviously was really great. To be perfectly honest, I was a little nervous. First mentorship meeting, you not know how it's gonna go. Hoping that your mentor is a good mentor. Um, but overall, for the first meeting was nice. I asked some simple questions of, how do you like your job? What do you do on a daily basis? And just how comfortable you are at your job. And one thing that I found interesting was that she wasn't necessarily an engineer, but she was a project manager. So she worked with different types of engineers, and I was kind of shocked when she wasn't really an engineer, but I found it more beneficial that she worked with a team of engineers, so not just mechanical engineers. It could be electrical engineers or manufacturing engineers. So she was able to give me some information on their daily workday. And one thing that I also found out is that she went to Platteville, and I'm going to Platteville, so it was very interesting to hear what she had to say about Platteville. Good things, a lot of good things she said about Platteville, and that just kind of put me in a good place, and I felt more confident about going to that college because other people have said good things about it. So she gave me a lot of good feedback on that college and good advice. So I found that very helpful. Then for the second meeting, one thing I had to bring up was calculus because honestly, I'm not shouldn't say I'm not good at calculus, but it's something that I enjoy the least, and I know it's very commonly used in the engineering field. So we talked a little bit about that. She said it shouldn't be a huge concern, but yes, I need to know my stuff. And then what I really wanted to know about was the design process and how this relates to, my EDD class or this class. And she said that it was very similar. So you go through the whole what's the problem, empathize, mock up, prototype, and solve your problem. And I just had some, a smorgasbord full of questions, kind of what's the best and worst decisions you've made, what's the worst thing you've seen, and how do you go about solving that, kind of how do you organize your time, because obviously as a high school student, we do tend to procrastinate a lot, and I kind of wanted to know how I should organize my time in college and when I get further in my career. Just strengths and weaknesses, how do you make decisions. Obviously when you're an engineer or you work with engineers, your thought process is a little different. I kind of just wanted to know how that goes. And then obviously, how did you go about paying for college? I'm personally paying for my college, and I just wanted a little bit of advice, scholarship options and what she did to pay for her college. And that was really important to me because in the next few months here, I'm going to be facing that. So, but yeah, the first 2 meetings were just kind of getting info, asking some basic questions that I had, what were all overall very good experiences and helped me out. But the most recent meeting was actually a really good experience. I was a little nervous at first. We recently had a canceled job shadow for October, I want to say. But we actually found an event, or not necessarily an event, but a conference called the Lean Six Sigma. So I was there all day. So basically, these employers not hire their employees, but they enroll their employees in this program called the Lean Six Sigma. And what these employees do in this program is that they need to find a problem within the company that they work for or for their employer, and they need to go through the whole design process and solve it. And this wasn't mechanical engineering, this was specifically manufacturing engineering. So not a little off from what I want to do, but it actually opened up another option that I might be interested in. So one example, these employees had to find a way to manage waste or just be more organized within a company to make it more efficient, make it faster, quicker. And two companies actually stood out to me. There was a paper cutting company, so these two employees from this paper cutting company, I don't remember the name of it, but they were enrolled in this Lean Six Sigma program, and they found out within their company that after they're done cutting a whole order of paper, they throw scraps everywhere, and these scraps are supposed to be utilized, not just thrown away, or not thrown away, but put in a specific spot so that when another order comes in, they can use it. And they found out that when after the paper is being cut, it's just being put in a random place in the warehouse, and it's just nowhere to be found. So they found a way to, it was a simple solution. They hung up signs everywhere throughout the warehouse. Even though it was simple, it did actually solve the problem, or help solve the problem, help the company be way more organized, so they're able to find the scrap paper when they need to use it and not let it go to waste. Another example is painting company. They're finding a way to prevent. So they painted car parts, okay, and all this paint would go through an assembly line, and the painters would paint them. But the thing is, when paint spots are missed, or excuse me here, I'm kind of cutting out a bit, but so they went through this assembly line, and when they painted these, there's obviously parts that weren't fully painted or not properly painted, so they had to develop a new assembly line without stopping the whole assembly line. They introduced a whole new assembly line for parts that needed to be repainted without stopping the whole assembly line, so the company can be more efficient and not waste money or time on these parts that needed to be fixed. So overall, this was obviously my best experience. It got me interested almost in manufacturing engineering. It's not just on mechanical parts or anything. It's just a simple process of how things are made and how to make it more efficient, and that's what my mentor deals with all the time. So it definitely opened up options for me, and that was overall a really good experience. Not a big fan of listening to 6-hour-long presentations on what these students or employees have been working on for the past few months, but I was definitely interested in it. So alright, so one experience I felt least confident about was probably my first mentor meeting. I was just really nervous. I didn't know how things would go, hoping I was going to get a good mentor, and I kind of just stressed that a lot, and at the end of the day, it was really nothing worth to stress about. But sometimes I struggle to keep a conversation going when it's someone that I don't necessarily know, and I was afraid I didn't have enough questions prepped. And then just meeting someone new is not always, but sometimes can be a slow process, and that's kind of what it was, a little slow at first, but even I'm getting a little ahead here, but even now we definitely gotten closer, and it's really not a problem. So overall, it was just meeting my mentor that I felt a little unconfident about. So and then an area for improvement, there's really not, I guess, anything that I'm really picky about or something that just needs to be improved. But one thing I'd love to improve is just get a closer connection and actually work on something together. Like you said, co-create something or read a book. Because even now, as my 4th meeting is coming up, I am finding it hard to come up with questions that I have, or is any other concerns I have. I'm just running out of that. So I want to actually get more involved with my mentor, do something together. So like I said, read a book together, and then every mentor meeting we come together, talk about it, thoughts and concerns about it, and then just go from there, or actually create a product. I'm not exactly sure if this is doable because my mentor works kind of from home all the time, but it's something that I really want to talk to my mentor about, see if we can do that. It'll just overall keep us more busy and engaged during these meetings. So, not saying that having a list of questions is bad, but the questions, I feel like it's just something that should come along the way. Not something I should just be completely focused on. So I really, this next semester, I just want to do something more interactive together. And then 4 things that really changed. Obviously, like I said, first meeting was really nerve-wracking. Wasn't close to my mentor. But it was rough at first, but overall, I feel extremely comfortable with my mentor now. I feel like I can ask her anything. And at first, I was afraid just to ask stupid questions because I am just really unexperienced, and it's a little uncomfortable when you're asking someone who's been working in the field for a long time just to ask like these little questions that I feel like everyone would know. But I'm just extremely comfortable asking questions with her. And overall, since the beginning, I gained a lot of knowledge on my career and then other options out there. So I did know a lot about mechanical engineering, nothing too specific about it. I've definitely learned that mechanical engineering is extremely broad. There can be so many other different, seeds within mechanical engineering, and I found out that with a mechanical engineering degree that I could be working with multiple, other different types of engineers. So that kind of just helped me assure, like, this is what I want to do. And back to Lean Six Sigma, when it comes to manufacturing engineering, I learned a lot about that, and it's actually something I'm looking into right now. So it's more not about improving a product, it's more of just how a product is, or just the process behind creating a product and improving that and making it more efficient. So overall, over this semester, we've definitely grown. I feel completely more comfortable, and I've definitely learned a lot, and I'm hoping to get even closer and actually, like I said earlier, just interact and go beyond just asking questions next semester. So, and overall, just the mentorship has been great. It's nice to talk to someone who actually has a lot of experience. I'm not saying you have no experience. I'm just saying when we go to ACP meetings on Monday, I don't necessarily feel comfortable that my gym teacher is kind of guiding me through my career, I guess you could say. But it just definitely helps when you have someone who's actually in the field or works with people who's in the career you want to be in. It just completely helps because they can answer your questions just like that and just keep talking and talking and talking, and then just answer your questions without even asking them. So overall, this semester is a great experience, and I hope to have a better semester next year. So, all right, that's all I have for you today. Have a good day, Mr. Upton. Thank you.